So it's a deep thing y'all gotta grasp. Now, all those accomplishments, we just gonna sweep those under the rug so that every time a nigga gets shot, we can say, oh, he like Pac? And this is what Troy Ave has to understand. Because while y'all beating him up, and every time he say something, y'all jabbing at him and uppercutting at him and saying he's a bozo and he ain't nothing like Pac, explain to the brother. Because I think Troy Ave got a good spirit and a good heart. He just like Pac. He playing around in a life that he really don't need to be in. A lot of people be in a gangster life, they stray off and go into the gangster life, and then things get crazy for them. And it's a bad thing. Gangsters last because this is their environment and they belong. They may get shot or whatever, but it's nothing. It's just a part of their day. It's like a football player getting hit. It's just a part of the day, but that's their life, and it don't stop. Pac ain't lasting against the world that long. Troy Ave need to be careful pulling for that. You pulling to be a dead man, and you pulling for the wrong things. Misleading the kids, making them think that Pac was all about getting shot and going to jail, and he wasn't about that. His whole existence and life of him that we know, he was a good man on a good path that could have brought us some great things. In the last 2 years of his life, he strayed off a little bit. And this is what we pull for and glorify in his life. Mind you, if he was alive now, I'm sure he wouldn't want people even talking about that. It's a deep thing y'all gotta grasp. You destroy your man. Whole legacy, because you forget the man got to grow up. So grasp that. A lot of y'all don't look at Pac and say, oh, Pac is 46, 45. You don't think of him in that way when you speaking of him. This is why you say, oh, if I got hit up, this is why Troy Ave gets shot up and say, I'm the new Pac. Because he's not thinking like, yo, you saying this about a 45-year-old grown-ass man that's into whole other things. Because this is what the case would have been if he was alive. I'm sure he wouldn't have been running around talking dumb shit about getting shot. You figure Jay-Z is on the level he's on. When I say that, I don't mean money. I mean in the sense of Jay-Z wears suits now and he mingling, jingling. He got his hand in little things, trying to bring about little change here and there. And this is Jay-Z. So imagine where Pac would have been now at this age. Suits on, probably dealing with all. We'll probably have, so it'll be crazy, man. But we need to start glorifying the good about Pac. And a lot of y'all need to understand. Because a lot of y'all are like 35 years old. My age. If you're 30 and over, you need to truly understand that when you sit around and you say, oh, Pac was a real nigga or a gangster, you sound like a fool because Pac died at 25. So when you looking at Pac and you like, oh, he was so wise and this and that, you got to remember, he's 10 years younger than you are now. Meaning he's a little kid. But y'all like, nah, he was wise. He was ahead of his time. If Pac was ahead of his time, and it doesn't matter if he was only 24 years old, and you view him as smart, not saying he was dumb, but you view him as smart and you could learn a lot from him, not saying you couldn't, that just goes to show you the times we in, where the young is smarter than the old. So this should let you see right there, the whole existence we live in, y'all have completely go backwards. And y'all reach to justify what is completely absurd. So in today times, a young brother will be teaching and have a little knowledge. And people will say, you could learn from a young man. And I'm not saying you can't, but it's a sad day when the old has to learn from the young. Grasp how deep that is. Y'all have to learn from people younger than y'all. There should truly be nothing that you could learn from the young. Unless it's a new thing, but you should know more than the young. There should be truly nothing that you could learn from the young. This is how it should be. You was here first. But this is not how it is. We look to the young. Y'all watch Tupac and say, man, he was the realest nigga in the world. And he 10 years younger than you. What are you talking about? You should be looking at him as a little kid, like you would anybody 10 years younger than you. But we don't. And we say, no, I could have learned a lot from Pac because he was ahead of his time. But he's still 10 years younger than you, and this is the mental state that we in. Doesn't matter if a person's younger than you and you're old. You never look at yourself and say, damn, I'm older than the brother. Why do I need to learn from him? Not saying you can't. I'm saying the times are so fucked up that young people do have more knowledge than old people. But that's not to say that that's right and that actually makes sense. It don't make sense, but that's how it is. And this is how you know. This is how off track with the life we are. We so off track with the life as people, black people, that when one of our great brothers make one small mistake in his life, we glorify the small mistake and we make that the best thing of his life. Speaking of Tupac, we reach for the 2 years he strayed off in his life and made mistakes that led to the end of it. We glorify that part. Motherfucker gets shot. He said, I'm like Tupac, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. Hit him up. It's a deep thing y'all gotta grasp. Niggas start throwing up ganging and shit like that. You like, oh, I'm on my pocket. I'm mobbing, nigga. Money over bitches. And all this kind of crazy shit. And we never refer to Pac in the great things he did. I don't understand this. Brother was in school and doing all types of great things. Things that y'all don't even do now. And y'all act like he never did these things. We don't even speak of it. It should be a rule in the black community from this day forward. If you get shot, if you an ignorant rapper, it don't matter who you are. If you ain't on a positive path, looking to bring about change and got some type of revolutionary qualities about yourself, you can't be referencing yourself to Pac. If you got shot, don't reference yourself to Pac. Let's stop speaking about getting shot and Tupac in the same sentence. When you hear about brothers graduating from college and doing great things and great poets and very articulate, and when you hear these type of things, let's say, he's like Tupac. When you see Brother Polite speaking, if you love Brother Polite, and he speaks articulate, say, oh man, he's on his Tupac shit. Whether you think he's a con or whatever the case may be, he's articulate. He tries to learn. He's on a path that's positive, whether he's doing positive things or not. The path he's on, it's a positive one. He may stray off like Pac did. He may not. Whatever the case is, the path he's on is not that bad. He speaks many languages. He's a scholar, so you got to grasp. These type of things you should reference to Pac. Not because the nigga got shot the fuck up and didn't die. It just makes Pac so much less than what he is. And I wish his family would speak up and say things like this sometimes too. Because they know the path that Pac was put on wasn't for that. He was about to be something so much deeper, man. Y'all don't grasp what spirits blossom and bloom into. Y'all don't grasp that. Y'all get caught in the small little parts of their life. And it's a deep thing. But the main thing is we got to start pulling for the positivity, man. And stop looking at all the negative things that we do in the community as good things. Selling drugs ain't a good thing, man. If you do it, you do what you got to do to make the best out your situation. But there should be no glorifying of it in any way. When I was growing up, we lied about selling drugs. We said we was in construction. And any dumb thing we could think of. We heard it on a movie, we used it. I'm in construction, baby. Why your hands so soft? I'm in the union. Shit like that. I'm a union delegate. That's why. I just sit at a desk. But I'm in construction. Brother tell you anything. I'm a barber. Tell you anything except I sell drugs. That was a rule when I was coming up. You never told anybody you sold drugs. You know how shameful that was? That's why back in the day, all drug dealers had little corner stores and shit like that. I don't care if it was a front store. They all pretend they was legal. It's a deep thing y'all youngsters got to grasp. A lot of brothers went to jail and a lot of knowledge was lost and y'all just came up in the streets lost and dumb. But if you think back, all the drug dealers had barbershops or some kind of store. And they pretend they was legal when they act like they went to work every day and they sell hella dope. Today times is different. We glorify it. This leads the kids to being dumb, and then they sell drugs and they never buy anything legal with it and build on themselves. And it's a deep thing we gotta grasp. We gotta stop pulling for the negativity and the dumb stuff because it does nothing for us. We don't even reach for the positive in a person. Put it like this: a person that have negative things, positive things about them. Y'all are dig and scrape and scratch for all the negative dirt y'all can find about a person and completely ignore all the good. Mind you, this is your own race you're doing it to. So what does that lead to? Making half or most of your race look like despicable losers because no other race is digging and scratching to it. You don't see the whites doing this. Oh, let's dig and scratch and expose this motherfucker. Maybe when the presidency is going on and they hate Trump, but this is like the only time you see foolishness like that. You don't see this white actor digging and scrapping and scratching to try to find some negative things to say about this one or this country white pop star. You don't see this in other races. Maybe sometimes, but we all do this. This is all we do. We don't reach for nothing positive. We tear our own down. We look for any dark, deep secrets. If we can't find none, we make up some shit. We don't care. If it's negative about them, we want it out in the public. Mind you, this is your own race. So what does that lead the race as a whole? Nowhere. Gotta grasp, man. You gotta start thinking bigger than yourself. Slavery messed people's minds up. It made them start to only care about self and I got to make it. And you forget about everyone, and in that you lose. Because it don't matter what you do, you can't change what you are and who you are. Which is basically just a spirit in a body. But we live in an ignorant existence where you have nationality and race. Things that truly make no sense, being as though everybody's a sperm cell inside of an egg. I didn't know sperm cells had sperm cells is the same color. It's a deep thing. And if you ain't a sperm cell that got an egg, then you shouldn't even be watching this video because you're retarded. But everybody's a sperm cell that got an egg, and it don't matter what color the egg was or what color the egg turned out into because the sun was shining on it. Only thing that matters is the spirit that's inside that egg, the sperm cell. And everybody's really the same. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. But we live in a world where you have nationality and race, and you can't change that. You can't change how people look at you. So I can bleach my skin and turn white, but people are still going to look at me as black ass Solace. So you have to grasp. Not saying I'm black. Y'all know me. I'm gold. I'm the brother that came and told y'all that. I'm not black, nigga. I'm gold. I don't know what that is. What's black? My shirt is black, and I never seen the nigga this complexion. I did the other day. I actually seen a brother the color of my shirt. It was amazing. I wanted to go up and shake his hand and tell him, you are the blackest nigga on the planet. You need to be in the Guinness World Book of Records. They pay you for that, brother. What are you thinking? Anybody see this brother would have said, oh my God, I never seen nobody that black. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. He need to go get him some money and stop playing around. You got to use your qualities for what they for. Ain't nobody black as a motherfucker like that on this planet. Then that means you one of a kind, nigga. You better go make that do something what it do. Y'all threw me off track, got me speaking ghetto. I'm sorry. I'm pulling away from that. I'm trying to be humbled because this is all that matters. See, you get knowledge and you let the knowledge form your actions. The more knowledge you get lost in it. It begins to form your actions. And you don't do the same dumb things you did in the past. And you just begin to slowly change and bloom. But it's a deep thing because if you're already humbled and peaceful, you don't actually need any knowledge because you're already on the path. See, a humble man will never be lost in the physical things because he's too humble. So he'll never have 50 cars. He'll just have whatever car he may need. This is what humility is. Only take what you need. Not greedy, not lost in the physical. So a humbled man don't need no knowledge, because his actions is already what the knowledge should get you to at some point.